Welcome, dear seekers of the unknown. Here nightmares are brought to life, and the line between reality and the supernatural blurs into obscurity. We are now embarking on a journey into the darkest corners of the human psyche. Our tale, shrouded in dread and mystery, will leave you questioning the boundaries of the ordinary world. But before we plunge into the abyss, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. Only then will you receive our dark whispers in the dead of night. Now, brace yourselves for the chilling embrace of the unknown, for in the depths of our stories lies the essence of terror itself. The Enigma of Nyxie Gloomdread. Chapter 1. Shadows over Ravenbrook. This eerie tale unfolds in the Middle Ages within a secluded, ominous village named Ravenbrook, where centuries of simple peasantry bow in devout servitude to old deities. The inhabitants cling to their faith like lifelines, their fervor overshadowed only by their fear of the formidable witch, Nyxie Gloomdread, who has survived the purifying blaze meant to claim her life. She is a necromancer of sinister repute and harbors a mysterious past. Her origins intertwine with ancient, forgotten dark arts. Her essence is seemingly woven from the fabric of the shadows themselves. Her motivations are as cryptic as her aspirations, consumed by a desire to entwine the fates of the innocent with her unrelenting power, spreading her darkness and permeating her presence in the blind fears of the villagers. She resides on the grim outskirts of the village, her abode masked by the gloominess of the haunted woods, unseen by prying eyes yet felt by all as a lingering, malevolent omnipresence. Chapter 2. Ember of Love. Pascal Byrne, a youthful farmer and heir to a storied lineage, is the mainstay of his family, providing abundant sustenance to his kin. His world undergoes a profound transformation when he binds his life with Stace Paganvey in matrimony, the luminous daughter of his father's esteemed friend. Pascal is governed by a primal urge to shield and sustain, striving to preserve the sanctity and joy within his little universe. His feelings for Stace are the cornerstone of his reality, a radiant flare of warmth and light in his existence. Pascal's devotion to his folks and his wife is a shining testament to his character, a beacon in the enveloping shadows, and it is this love that guides him through the looming darkness and the challenges that lay in wait. Chapter 3. Sinister Promises. Pascal is irrevocably shattered by Stace's passing due to a lethal ailment. He descends into a chasm of despair, his company reduced to a mere specter haunted by the echoes of his departed love. Suffering becomes the crux of his being, his heart teetering on the brink of oblivion. He would forfeit his very soul to retrieve Stace from the shadowy realms of the beyond. It is amid this misfortune that Nyxie Gloomdread emerges, wrapped in a cloak of shadows. Her appearance is disturbing. Her offer is a perverse covenant wreathed in illusions, all utterances entwining Pascal tighter in the web of darkness. She whispers promises of life for Stace in a perverse exchange. Stace must inhabit the chambers of Nyxie's abode once a week, where ominous rituals await her presence. Pascal, in turn, must agree with helpless anticipation, be barred from witnessing, and be left to endure the wait at the end of each rendezvous. Every silent pact is a step deeper into the dangerous artifice from which escape seems impossible. Chapter 4. Necromancy. Desperate to pull Stace back from the dead, Pascal succumbs to the cruelty of Nyxie Gloomdread. The ordeal of the Covenant is a symphony of anguish, and Pascal's mind is a tumultuous sea of sadness and desperation. The ritual is a dance of obscurity, where vitality and death interlace in a macabre choreography, and energies dark and light mingle in the relentless pursuit of forbidden rebirth. When the shrouds of night recede, Stace returns, her beauty and affection seemingly heightened, yet tinged with the blackened horrors. Since her resurrection, the village has become a stronghold of hushed fears and averted gazes, a place where their presence is seen as a contamination, the air around them imbued with an unseen, chilling mist. Their corrupted lives became a whirl of sorrow and muttered sins, yet Pascal and Stace find solace within each other's arms, bound by the chains of the pact to the imminent haze of the conjurer. Chapter 5. Tortuous Heart. The initial encounter is an agonizing experience. On the assigned day, Pascal and Stace make their way to Nyxie's sinister dwelling. As per the dark deal, Pascal is confined to the appointed chamber, while Stace, accompanied by the gloomy enchantress, vanishes into the concealed sanctum. He is barred from witnessing the rite, yet the sounds of Stace's anguish and the heart-rending screams penetrate the silence, whispers of blades and suffering filling the air. It is a cacophony of despair resounding in the helpless stillness. After what seems like an eternity, Stace emerges from the forbidden room outwardly intact, a semblance of a smile playing on her lips, yet her eyes are pools of torment, brimming with unshed tears and howling unspeakable pain. Pascal feels revulsion and emptiness at seeing his lover's misery. Chapter 6. Tremors. As time passes, the blackness deepens, and the mediation becomes heavier with each passing moon. Horrifying events within the indistinct cubicle amplify into a dissonance of torment and woe. The pact grows increasingly intolerable. Pascal can no longer bear the sight of his wife enduring the indignities of each contact. But soon another meeting is held, with the same sinister preparations laid out so Nyxie can have Stace in her dominion. And as expected, the malevolent acts commence without respite, in an unending cycle of darkness and pain. Pascal starts to tremble. His terror is so turbulent that he cannot help himself, and although in panic and angst, he moves inexorably toward the cursed portal, his hand quaking and his soul wailing. He breaches the forbidden threshold. Chapter 7. The Labyrinths of the Abyss. When Pascal, drowning in his internal strife, opens the Gate of Sorrows, he is not met with the satanic ceremony he had envisioned. Instead, he is engulfed in a void of absolute, impenetrable emptiness, a dimension beyond reality. Then, from the all-consuming grief, surfaces not the visage of a demon, but the mirrored view of his own face, twisted in a silent scream of constant anguish. This monster reveals the truth. The woman he knows is but a delusion. Stace is a phantom, a reflection of his deepest desires and regrets, brought to semi-life by Nyxie to serve as a persisting reminder of the compliance he forged. The true Stace is ensnared in this nebulous realm, her soul fragmenting with each echo of his torture. The Haunted reveal that every visit Stace makes to the shadowed halls is slowly depleting her essence, becoming part of the darkening feeling around him. Chapter 8. Revelations. The shock of this horrific revelation intensifies Pascal's affliction, forcing him to live with the remnants of all its painful insinuations. Stasis' ghost is mirrored in this shadow domain. It is a cyclical hell replicating itself in the dark frame of his own soul, an everlasting purgatory where his guilt, adoration, despair, and hope are reflected back at him. Then Nyxie re-emerges, morphing into a damned figure, a reminder of the collapsed accord. She presents him with a stark, cruel dichotomy of choices. He can either join Stace in this semi-existence to share her calamity, or sever the binding ties entirely, freeing her, but relinquishing his soulmate forever. Chapter 9. The Knight's Embrace. Battling a tempest of emotions and faced with unimaginable pain, Pascal chooses to free his beloved, condemning himself to eternal damnation. His vision, permanently tainted by the witch's spell, will never witness daylight again. His existence is now shrouded in an unending cold eclipse, a world devoid of color and affection. He wanders the earth as a wraith of his former self, a living embodiment of sacrifice and loss, every step reminding him of the love he released and the darkness he welcomed. The plagues cling to him, whispers of his eternal torment and pure sentiment mingling in the silent agony of his soul.